knows, yeah, they say that she's a latch. Yeah, the whispers all around say
Okay, so this is a great warm-up for your shoulders, especially with overhead pressing. You can do this standing, or you can do this lying down or against the wall. Around your wrist, you want to create tension with your shoulders by opening up. Okay, as soon as you do that, that activates your shoulder blades. And then press overhead and come back down. Keeping that tension on the band. Okay, so starting with front squats, superset with one of the worst exercises, which is a dumbbell split squat. With the front squats, a few things. You can do them the old school bodybuilder way, if it's easier for you. If you don't have the front rack mobility, I don't, mine's getting better, but that's purely from your lat. So if you can't do them this way, purely from your lats, your lats are tight. So I have a video actually how to improve your front rack mobility. The reason why I do them this way is because I'm doing Olympic lifting. I'm learning Olympic lifting, so I have to force myself to do it. Main reason, purely, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but see, I can't rest them back because of this annoying thing here. So that obstructs my, that stops me from fully, so unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that, but you just have to work around it. You can put plates under your heels, but it's probably safer and better to get some lifters, invest in some lifters. And you can do front squats the old school way, if you don't have the mobility. One thing I like to do with split squats is, if you notice I don't fully extend at the top, I almost like to stop here to keep the tension in my quads. when I said in the beginning, I'm using a hook grip, if you do CrossFit, you know what this is. So when you do Olympic lifting, you use a hook grip over the bar. So your thumb acts like a hook, which makes doing deadlifts even harder. It will feel like your thumb's about to drop off, but it's the best way to get used to doing them. So now I instinctively do that due to doing Olympic lifting. So you don't have to do a hook grip. You can do a normal grip if you prefer. But for me, I do it this way purely because I want to get stronger and better doing the pull of a clean and a snatch with a hook grip. Because at the moment, that's one thing that I find difficult. So, and that's part of my New Year's resolution, is do things I don't like and get better at things that I'm not good at. So yeah, hence why I use a hook grip. So if you don't have your pull-ups, you can either do banded assisted pull-ups or you can do negatives. So those two exercises are a great way to progress onto a normal pull-up. Okay, with militaries, if you notice at the end, I did some push presses at the end. You can call them cheap reps. So what I like to do is, when I get to where I feel I'm fatigued, can't do any more, I like to add like 2 or 3 push presses. So I'm focusing more on the eccentric during the push press. That's something I like to do. But it is a military press exercise, so you don't have to do that bit at the end. Again, it's just how I like to challenge myself, and it's all about progressive overload. So trying to push myself that little bit harder than I normally would during a workout every single time I train. Okay, with the bicep curls, I've watched most of my training videos with biceps. You all know the deal. Okay, I used to be guilty of this. Okay, your elbows in, and when you curl up, squeeze your bicep like it owes you money. Nice and controlled down. Okay, even when it starts to get heavy, control that. So with the military and the bicep curls, you will be doing a drop set at the end, just a drop set of 2. So you do 1 set, drop the weight down, go straight into another one. banded push-ups, using the bands just makes it a little bit harder. And actually you get a lot more engagement in your chest when using the bands, just because of that extra resistance will make you really have to push, especially doing the concentric. So just remember that. I know it looks weird, but it's a lot harder than you think. If you find the regs too easy, go up resistance, so maybe to a small medium resistance. But trust me, it's an absolute killer. So with chest press, I'm not going too heavy because my chest is already oversized. So I'm doing this one more for you guys, because normally I wouldn't even put chest in my full body, just purely because I do a lot of overhead pressing anyway and it gets affected. But I almost do them powerlifter style, so you've probably watched it. Notice that I'm trying to make sure that my shoulder blades are right back onto that bench, because I've had injuries before from doing pressing, and that's because I haven't engaged my shoulder blades properly. So just remember that. On the bench, engage your shoulder blades. I like to squeeze my glutes, fully engage them, so that they don't come up. So this is when you know they're not engaged. Push them back. So I know a lot of times people don't see the difference, but hopefully you've seen now that I've shown you. When someone says to you, make sure your shoulder blades are engaged and back onto that bench. I like to have my arms further out slightly, to have a bit of a stretch on my lats. So normally most people do it this way. I like to bring my arms out slightly, then row it in. Okay, bring them out, row it in. Squeeze your lats again, like it owes you money, okay? Then bring it down, up, squeeze, down. Don't just go through the motions. Remember what you're working, remember the muscle you're working, and slow it down, do the eccentric as well. I'm gonna write the tempos of all of this anyway on the description box. So that's the workout done. So now we are on to part 3, which is the finisher. Now remember, like I said, if you have time, these are awesome to add because it just helps with conditioning. So that's one thing I feel everyone should be able to improve, is their conditioning. It doesn't matter what kind of training you do. And this is nice and quick. It's an EMOM, so it's only an 8-minute EMOM. And what EMOM means is every minute on the minute. So first minute you're going to do ground to overhead. Now ground to overhead just means, if you're watching the video, getting the bar up to your shoulders from the floor and above your shoulders. You can either do it almost like a power clean to overhead press, or you can do it as a muscle or power snatch. It just means get the bar from the ground to over your head, basically. And the next one's going to be hanging leg raises. Again, so that will be the second minute. If you can't do hang leg raises, I've given you an alternative. I've given you an alternative to both of these movements. So if you can't do them with a barbell, use the dumbbell. And with the leg raises, if you can't do those, do butterfly sit-ups as well. So, or you can do knee tucks. whichever you prefer. So it's an EMOM every minute, on the minute, for 8 minutes. Simple. Okay, so that's it. That's the video. Make sure you get some chalk, because my hands were slipping off that bar for the leg raises. But yeah, that's the workout done. You probably noticed I didn't touch the cable machine today. That's because the cables come in the next session. So hence why I said it's better to break them up. Just so you can get some good quality workouts on each exercise rather than rushing through them. So what will happen is the next one, I'll do a lot more cable stuff. So you're probably thinking, we didn't do any cable, we didn't do any resistant machines. Some of those come in the second time. So that's how it makes the workout A, more interesting, and B, it gives you 2 different workout routines for full body. So it can be done. Yeah, like I said, if you guys are interested in seeing the second one, let me know and I'll film that as well. But this is just as awesome compared to my other videos. So like I said in the intro, you don't have to do every single set. So if I put 3 or 4 sets, you don't have to do that. If you're short on time, reduce the sets. It's not that difficult. Reduce the set. The warm-ups, they're long, yes, but that's because, again, it's a full body. You need to make sure you're primed and prepped for your workout to avoid injuries. And the finisher, again, is optional. I love doing them. They help to get your conditioning up, so try and add them. It's only 8 minutes. So if you have time, try and add them into your sessions as well. But yeah, that's it. I'm hungry, as always. I'm gonna get some food. Thank you so much for watching, because I'm rambling on. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you haven't done so, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Yeah, peace out.